So let's continue our overview of the executive branch of the government. Of course, the executive branch is headed by the president and all the departments under the president. Their job is to enforce and carry out laws. We talked about this pretty much previously, so I'll be pretty brief here. Qualifications for being president are more strict than other offices. You have to be 35 years old. You have to live in the United States for 14 years. You must be a U.S. citizen. And we have election for president every 4 years. You can only serve 2 terms as president. If the president dies or resigns, the vice president is next in line till the next election. We believe in America, going back to Magna Carta, that presidents should follow the laws like everyone else. If a president is found to be breaking a serious law, the president can be put on trial by Congress in the process known as impeachment. The White House, our founding fathers want the White House to be kind of the people's house. In the beginning, you could come up and visit the president in the White House. Of course, you can't do that today. Compared to other countries, it's very plain, I guess, but it's more sophisticated and larger than you think. I think we read it was about 132 rooms total. This is both the president's residence and a place for doing business. The president's office is there, and a place to hold state dinners and official events when dealing with other countries. The president lives on the 2nd floor. The 1st floor is part of a museum. People can tour it. And then there's also the president's offices. So it's really a building and a home that is used for many different purposes. Let's see this is some of the 1st floor views of the White House. And they preserved a lot of the artwork and chairs and furniture from some of the old presidents. The Green Room is a very famous room. Of course, all the food that comes in the White House has to be screened for poison and radiation, things like that. So the president's kitchen staff has a very important job to protect the president. There's the Oval Office where the president signs bills into laws, vetoes bills, and will address the nation in serious times from this office by camera, by video. Here's the White House grounds. You can see they're extensive, and actually I think they've actually been extended even further. I believe these streets aside are often closed down now for cars to give more of a buffer zone for the president, and maybe even this street up front at times as well, so that they have security on high alert. In modern times with terrorism. This is the East Wing of the White House where they do presidential galas, official state dinners, those type of things. The president entertains leaders from around the world. Of course, we have the main building, president's office, living quarters, museum-like part of the bottom floor. The West Wing is the think tank of the White House where the advisors meet, where the Situation Room is. There's a tunnel underneath here, and even more people that work for the president work in this huge office building here. And then there's said to be secret tunnels and escape routes and things under the White House as well. We probably don't even know the beginning of the technology that's protecting the president here. You can see the grounds. The president will use, land the helicopter on the ground, so for quick transportation. And so there's a lot to the White House, but still it's probably more plain and simple than a lot of other governmental leadership buildings around the world. Air Force One is how the president takes presidential power and American influence all over the world. There's 2 planes like this. It's only Air Force One if the president is on it. It has can be refueled in the air. It has huge range, can go long distances. It has comfortable living quarters for the president, so the president can be rested and prepared whenever he or she lands. It has secure communication all over the world. It has space for hundreds of people to travel with the president, and an endless defense system to protect it as well. I can see on Air Force One presidential office there. It's almost like an official office, really. Marine One is how the president often will travel to Andrews Air Force Base from the White House lawn for quick transportation. And it's a safe and fast way for the president to travel. Motorcade, of course, these cars very sophisticated. They got their own air intake for clean, protected air. They have numerous defense system, armor that is more than most tanks and armored vehicles. It's extremely safe vehicle. It can travel at incredible speeds. It's got communication all over the world. Really incredible vehicle, and they travel with 3 of these at a time. So you don't know which one the president's in when they're traveling. They travel by motorcade. and they travel very fast. They don't stop or slow down for anything, they have the streets cleared. That way, that when they're on the move, they're as safe as possible. These presidents weren't impeached. They were put. Impeachment was considered for Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton. Andrew Johnson actually was put up for impeachment, but he passed by one vote. Bill Clinton was considered for impeachment, but ultimately Congress did not bring charges. The Congress has the power to veto, or the president has the power to veto or cancel laws, but Congress can override that veto with a 2/3 vote. So that's our checks and balances system in action there. The president can bypass Congress in some situations to issue executive orders, which have the power of law when things can be done quickly. The Congress usually doesn't like that. They like to be involved in all the decisions, and they usually protest and complain when that happens. The president can issue pardons and release people from punishment. Often presidents will do that at the very end of their tenure of being president. The president is in charge of all the executive departments, carrying out all the laws in the country. So they have really, literally, I read somewhere 4 million people work for the executive branch, so he's really in charge of all of that. So it's a huge job, a huge responsibility, and not to be taken lightly. So that's all I have on the executive branch. We'll do the judicial branch tomorrow. Thank you.